Hi all, welcome to day 7, Misty Autumn Forest, and I just love this one. Can you see that mist in the painting, right? I know there are a lot of versions of how to paint a Misty Autumn Forest. I'm just gonna give you my tips and tricks to paint this one very simple. Easy hacks how to paint a Misty Forest. So let's dive into how we wanna go about it. Come. So by now you already know the drill. So we start by wetting the whole paper with some clean water, ensuring that there are no puddles in the paper, right? Once your paper is completely dry, what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint some, we'll pick some autumn colors, same colors, right, that I've been using throughout all these lessons. So we're gonna paint all these, pick all these colors and then put them in a different zigzag motion, okay? I'm just trying to take out that extra water from my paper. Okay. So here I'm back and again ensuring that whole paper is wet very nicely and then there are no puddles. Also, if you remember, I told you in my supplies lesson that I'm using two versions of the paper and this is the rough version of the paper that I'm using. Now, when you see very clearly, you will see the grains in it, right? That's what I was talking about. The cold press and rough actually has this difference that the grains of the rough are lot. They are more grainy in nature. Okay, so we start by putting colors like this. So I have just shown you how to put a color. So we do it in some zigzag manner. So I have taken Gombo's yellow for as the first one, then the green, and then again some yellows at some areas, some orange after that. But then remember one thing: we're not trying to blend any of these, right? I just don't want you guys to blend it. Just put them in some areas. Don't try to blend them. If they are putting them on top of each other, so be it. Just don't try to blend them. Okay, that's what we have to keep in mind, that we don't blend them. So because our paper is completely wet, just keep putting some colors in a fashion that you want your misty forest to be, and that's it. And don't worry, right? Even if your color starts mixing into, ideally it should not mix each other. We should be softening the edge from the bottom of whatever you are painting. But even if it goes and mix into one another, I don't want you to worry. I'm gonna show you how to avoid that or how to correct that even, right? So don't worry about it. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. We'll be able to rectify it. And this is what you should be learning while working with watercolor. But accidentally something happens, accidentally something goes wrong, then how you want to correct that mistake. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna just go green on top of yellow, just to give that feeling, and greens on the other area which I felt was quite empty, I think. So I think let's fill it, right? And even to follow the strokes, because these strokes is what it gives the feeling of forest. Now let's take some orange and red, yellows and orange, and start adding our trees. See, I'm not trying to mix it, right? So whenever I'm painting and I'm following the same pattern and I'm painting them on side, but I'm not just trying to mix them. And continue watching and you will see me making a mistake, my colors getting into each other's area, and that's where I had to actually jump and do something to prevent it, and you'll see how I saved my painting. And that's what I was telling you guys, right? Don't worry about it. Now if you can see, it's looking very brighter, right? Okay, so the area where there is no color, I was trying to mix it, blend it, but then I think I overdid it while I was doing this. Instead of doing it slightly, I overdid it. But when I did the whole area was occupied in color. So this is a mistake that I did, right? I over blended it. So I just don't want you guys to repeat the same mistake, and don't over blend it. Okay, and then even if you have done similar to mine, don't worry about it. Just grab a tissue paper and put some water on the paper, right? Put some water on the paper, the area that you have already painted, and just lift some colors. That's what we can do to save the painting. See, if you can see, I'm just putting my water and dabbing that piece of tissue onto the painting to lift those colors. I think I over blended it. I should have not blended it so much. Natural blend was, I think, enough. Okay. So now you know if something goes wrong, how to correct it. So you can correct your mistakes if you realize it sooner in the process. And now with the same tissue paper, because now paper is wet in very different areas, I was just trying to pull the colors. But now, as you can see, it has disrupted the whole painting. So we're gonna do start again and put some colors. Okay, so now take your greens and make it little darker while you're blending with the above area where we were supposed to paint some trees, right? So blend them, and I'm, as you can see now, I'm using my flat brush for this actually, because I thought ki no, it's already gone, the texture is already gone, so let's do some flat strokes and then do the little detailing part later. And detailing can be done once it's dry also, so I don't even have to worry about it being dried. So I left my paper to dry, and I think it's now dry. So we're gonna start with detailing out. The background wash was already done, and now we start by detailing it out. So we're gonna make some trees, and it's the similar motion, right? So you go left and right, left and right, left and right. So there's no clearly that I'm defining. It's just a hint of pine tree that we want to give. So keep making the trees. And you want to remember that if you have painted your background as green, the wash is green, your tree detailing also should be with the same color. The area where you painted yellow or orange, your tree detailing should also be with that same color, so that it doesn't go muddy. Else it will go muddy and it will not look nice. And we will continue to do this. So you paint some trees, you soften the edge. Again you paint some tree, you soften the edge, and then again let your paper dry. Do same thing on repeat mode. Also, you have to remember that on the top part, the bottom part, why did not we do it? Because it was at the bottom of the page, not at the top or middle. Whenever you are painting a tree, you just soften the below area. You remember from the techniques class, we have learned how to soften the edge of watercolor. We don't want any hard edges there, right? It's just one single. So we wanted that blend. Okay. So I think the greens are done, and now we'll start with some oranges. We'll paint some trees with oranges, and then lastly we'll do it from red and burnt sienna. Sometimes you'll have to go on top of the greens also, and then overlap some colors so it doesn't look like a differentiating boundary, right? Because in real life there will be no differentiating boundary, it will be all beside one another, and that's what we want to also maintain. So that's okay if you're called, or if you're doing orange and you're going on top of green, so let it grow, don't worry about it. Okay, so once you're done with your orange, let's start with some painting some dark shades now, and we're gonna use scarlet red for this one. So I have just put those strokes over there just to give me definition of how many trees I'll have to paint over that area. And so now I know that I need to paint so many trees around that area, and I'll have to work accordingly and put all the details of those trees accordingly, right? So if you can see on the top, that misty look is already started coming, right? So it's already coming now. So once you detail out, it's gonna look. And wait till the last, because I'm gonna show you one quickest method to make it all look very misty. Okay, so I'm gonna go on top of oranges also. Some oranges also I'll do the red, so it just all blends in together and it gives a nice feeling of the autumny forest that we are painting over here. See how beautiful it is turning out, right? I just can't believe how beautiful it's turning out. But again, as I've said, right, because we are gonna do in layers, and if you keep doing wet on wet, it just wouldn't give that definition. It's getting the depth, but the definition is actually missing, right? So you want to paint, and then so you're gonna wet the paper, paint it, then wait for some time for it to be dry in order to do all the detailings. And yeah, same I have to do. I just need to wait for my paper to dry before I do the detailing. Once you're satisfied, so for speeding up the process, again I'm using my hair dryer to dry my paper. But if you want to wait for some time for your paper to dry, you can wait it, or else you can do similar thing and you can use hair dryer for drying my paper, your papers, sorry. Okay, so yeah, I'll be speeding up the process till paper is dry. Okay, so let's define some trees and then we want to go one shade darker with the base color, right? So I taken a green color, so I want to go a one shade darker than what I have already taken. We just want to ensure that we go one shade darker than what we have already picked, and make sure that now when you started doing this one, your painting should be completely dry, the paper should be completely dry. Okay, so we are gonna cover all the green areas, then orange. On the orange areas, we'll do a mix of burnt sienna, some reds and some darker shades over there, right? The mix of reds and browns. So this is the same thing that we're gonna do throughout. It would be a very meditative process to do it and get yourself indulged and then think about that you are in that environment, what you're trying to paint, right? So I'm gonna speed up this process because it's just the same process. I'm gonna just cover the left, right, the upper green area, the bottom green area, all, and then if you want to go over some of the orange part also, you can go ahead and put some green on top of your oranges also, but not recommended, but you can try that as well. So I'm gonna speed up the process and we'll see how to do the oranges after that, right? Now, since all of the greens are done, we are gonna do the orange detailing, the detailing of the orange or darker trees, right? That particular shade, the autumn shade. So I have mixed my scarlet with my orange, made it a one tone darker, and as you can see, I am also mixing my browns to my orange now, and then again going. So we're gonna keep some darker shades now. So we're gonna use a mix of orange, scarlet, and burnt sienna to go over on top of all the brown shades or washes that we have done in the background to give a detailing look of the trees, right? The process is again very simple. We're gonna go zigzag. So you draw a line, straight line, some twisted lines, and then just go zigzag movement, dab your brush, and then give it a feeling that it's a forest. It's a tree, right? Those are leaves basically. So bottom where I have painted a brown, so it, because it's very near to the viewpoint or to our eye area, it's a bit darker, and on top we can have some bright colors and then paint all the trees, right? So trust your gut feeling, trust your instinct, have fun with the painting and choose whatever shade you feel you want to use for making this autumn. There are no rules, right? So it's autumn, we all know that the colors are very bright, so you gotta play with it. So we just don't want to keep the same colors everywhere. It should be a mix of all those colors, right? Now when you're doing it, you will see that your painting is slowly coming alive because the background brush actually gives it a depth, right? You will see me talking about this depth a lot, but believe me, it's required while you're painting a forest. And then remember to soften your edges. We don't want any hard edges, right? So just keep softening your edges. And don't worry if you feel that the mistiness is like you're losing the mistiness of your painting, then don't worry about it. I'm just gonna give you a quick hack on how to achieve that at the very last. But till then, I want you to enjoy the process. So continue painting as you're doing. So now I think it's all over, and this is where my hack is, right? So now you can see that we have covered the whole paper. There is some mistiness, but we have lost some of them. So we're gonna mix some whites. So if you have white watercolor, then that's okay. If you have white gouache, so that's also okay. You can use either of them. But if you're using gouache, then I just want you to dilute it a bit more as compared to what you will dilute your watercolors, right? White watercolor. So once you are done diluting your watercolors, like mix your water in water. So your quantity of color should be, pigment color should be less and your water should be more. If you once you are done with it, we are gonna just pour that color on top of this painting. I hear you guys, so don't worry. Trust me, trust the process, and it's the most easiest hack that I have found out myself. Okay, so let's do it. So I was trying to put some whites on the area and then put some water over it. So I just put some whites and then I just took water, big amount of water on my brush and then just go over some areas where I want that mistiness to be there. I don't want to lose that mistiness, right? So if you can see, I just poured some white color over there and then I just poured water on top of it. Now, here's the fun part. Once you are done with it, and don't worry, nothing will happen to your painting, right? So, nothing will happen. So, once you are done pouring color, white color on top of your painting where you want that mistiness to be in it, right? Once you are done, we're gonna just take some tissue paper or paper cloth and dab it and just remove all that paint that we have put in the paper, right? So don't worry. Don't worry, nothing. And you've seen me, I was waiting for such a long time after pouring that color, right? After that also doesn't it did not harm my painting, right? Now I'm just taking clean water and just going on top of the area where I have put that white. Okay, so wherever I wanted that mistiness to be, I just put some white color over there and went on with clean water over that white paint. And now quickly grab your paper towel or your cotton towel. Once you're satisfied that all areas you have covered, then pick that paper and dab that white color from your painting. But you don't want to put it too hard. You see, I am just dabbing, right? I am not putting any pressure on it because I don't want to remove every white color that I have put on the paper. That is not the purpose. We want to remove the white color that we have put on the paper, but still I want it to be there. I want to leave that color over there. That's what it will give that misty feeling to my painting. Now do you see that mistiness that has come around the painting, right? This is what we were looking for. So this is the easiest hack that I could find. After spoiling my couple of paintings, I was able to actually achieve this one, and I thought, why not make a class over it and teach you guys how to achieve this mistiness in a quickest possible way. Isn't this good? Okay, see, I have made another area little foggy, little misty. Uh, and see how beautiful it is looking now. I'm so happy with the outcome. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little trick that I just taught you guys to make a misty forest. Woohoo! So finally we have completed our day 7 Misty Forest. Was it fun, guys? I know this lesson was a little longer than the other ones, but I think you thoroughly enjoyed it and you enjoyed my little hack. Let's jump on to the next class.